Hello, and welcome to another Lincoln property blog, brought to you by Ben from Walters of Lincolnshire. This week we look at the 5-year and 2-week Lincoln 𝐋𝐢𝐧𝐬, that's driving half of all home moves. If you walk down almost any Lincoln road or street, you will see the quiet signs of life playing out behind the front doors. Families growing, kids leaving home, kitchens are being refitted for the second or third time. Yet somewhere in that rhythm, every homeowner starts to feel it again. The gentle itch to move. Nationally, that cycle is longer than most people think. Across the UK, there are around 28.5 million households, of which roughly 17.7 million are owner-occupied. On the surface, we're a nation of stay-put homeowners. Around 83,300 properties sell each month, suggesting the typical homeowner moves only once every 16 years or so. It sounds calm, stable, and predictable. But Lincoln doesn't always follow the national beat. Beneath that surface of stability, the numbers tell a far more restless story. So, how long do we really stay in our Lincoln homes? Over the past few months, I've been studying property data for Lincoln, tracing how long local owners had lived in their homes before deciding to sell. The pattern is fascinating. Lincoln home movers move on average every 11 years, yet let us break that down. Firstly, the 25% quickest movers. The fastest 25% of Lincoln homeowners move every 3 years and 5 weeks on average. This group tends to include those who have to move unexpectedly or those who buy, improve and sell on. They see the home as a project or a short-term stop, not a final destination. Their activity injects movement and opportunity into the local market. The next 25% quickest movers. This group moves every 7 years and 20 weeks on average. They usually treat their home as a stepping stone to the next one, upgrading as families grow or as jobs and ambitions change. These movers are often in the thick of life, balancing careers, schools, and the dream of the next one up, the next 25%. These Lincoln homeowners move roughly every 12 years and 36 weeks. They're often in their 40s or early 50s, settled in work and family life, but beginning to think ahead to their next chapter. Some start to plan for downsizing, others look for a change in lifestyle or location. They are not constant movers, but when the time feels right, they make a thoughtful next step. And finally, the 25% slowest movers. The slowest 25% of Lincoln homeowners only move every 20 years and 41 weeks on average. They are the long-timers, often mortgage-free and deeply rooted in their homes and communities. Many have lived in the same place for 30 or even 40 years. They've seen the carpets fade, the neighbours change, and their children grow up there. Most have no pressing reason to move, but health, family, or the pull of the coast can still persuade even the most settled to take one last step. My overall thoughts on this are that it is, looking at the statistics, almost a 2 or 3 tier property market in Lincoln. There are the quick movers, i.e., the average length of time Lincoln homeowners in the fastest 50% of movers had only been in their home on average 5 years and 2 weeks, and then a second smaller group who move after a few decades. Let us dive into that. Across the UK, homeowners in their late 50s and 60s become dramatically less mobile. Those with mortgages move on average every 9 to 10 years, while those who've paid theirs off tend to stay for over 23 years. It's easy to see why. A mortgage creates structure, a timeline, and an eventual finish line. Without it, the urgency fades. The house becomes a base rather than a lever. Yet that can also create an unseen challenge for the market. Homes that could help younger buyers move up the ladder often sit still because there's no compelling reason for their older owners to sell. In a nutshell, smaller first-time and second-time buyer homes in the city often change hands every 4 to 6 years, while the larger family homes have been in the same families for decades. That blend is what gives the Lincoln market its unique, layered texture. Of course, sentiment isn't the only reason people stay or go. Costs matter, and in 2025, they matter more than ever. The average cost of moving home in Britain now sits somewhere between £10,000 and £15,000, once you include fees, stamp duty, removals, and redecorating. That figure alone can keep many homeowners sitting tight. Add in the uncertainty of mortgage rates, and the decision to wait another year becomes entirely understandable. Yet the irony is that waiting can often cost more than moving. A home that no longer fits can quietly chip away at the quality of life. Commutes lengthen, energy bills rise, maintenance stacks up. It's rarely the headline numbers that push people to move, it's the daily friction. That's why the true motivators are emotional, not financial. The birth of a child, a new school catchment, a parent who needs care, a job that no longer fits the old routine. For every spreadsheet of costs and yields, there's a conversation over dinner that starts with the exact 7 words. Do you think it's time we moved? Look at the transaction data, and Lincoln has a healthy rate of movement compared with many similar nearby towns and cities. It's not frantic, but it's steady. That's important because property markets aren't just about prices, they're about mobility, the flow of people through the system. When that flow stops, opportunity freezes. Lincoln's strength has always been its balance. Enough stability to keep prices sensible, enough churn to keep opportunity alive. Because behind every house move is a life event, and behind every home move, there's a rhythm that reflects the city's wider health. When Lincoln homeowners move a little faster, it often signals optimism. People feel confident enough to make changes. When they stay longer, it can signal uncertainty, affordability pressures, or even a shortage of suitable next-step homes, especially bungalows for the older generation. In 2025, Lincoln's numbers suggest a cautious but active market. The itch to move has not gone away, it's simply more considered. Homeowners are thinking harder before they act, weighing up lifestyle, family, and long-term financial stability. But the itch is still there. Home ownership isn't static. It's a cycle, one that reflects not just economics, but human nature. We put down roots, but we also crave renewal. If you're a Lincoln homeowner wondering whether your current home still fits the life you want, you're not alone. The data shows most of us reach that point every decade or so. These are my thoughts. What are yours? For more insights and information, visit the Lincoln Property blog at walters-property.com/blogs. Until next time, take care. If you are thinking about selling and want an honest, evidence-based opinion on your Lincoln home's actual market value, with no fluff, no pressure, and no nonsense, I would be delighted to help. To ensure all our clients get the absolute best experience and a total marketing strategy as unique as their homes, we only list 20 properties per month. Our November and December market appraisal slots are now available to book. We ensure that you are always a name and not just a number with Walters.